Hey, welcome back. Are you thinking about switching your dog from dry kibble to a raw diet? Wondering how the heck you actually do it without making your dog sick, or worse still, experience a case of what I call punami, explosive diarrhea that means loads of washing and cleaning up, or worse still, a trip to the vet. Okay, stick around. I'll go through the surefire steps to help you transition the safe and guaranteed mess-free way. Well, now you're still watching because you've heard that a raw diet might be a better option than dry kibble. But what are the benefits and why should you go to the effort to switch? Why is it a better option for your dog than the most expensive, best quality, complete and balanced kibble that you are currently feeding your dog? Look, I get it. Kibble is convenient. That's why it was invented. Let's face it, you open a bag, you pour it into their bowl. It's easy. Surely the products stating that they're complete and balanced are enough for your dog. Well, I'm going to take a pin and pop that marketing hype bubble. The list of reasons to switch are well researched, documented and verified by scientists, holistic vets and animal nutritionists. These studies aren't trying to sell you anything. In fact, most of them are funded by people just like me and you, animal lovers that want answers and the knowledge to make better choices for their animals. They are not the BS that is marketed to us by the big pharmaceutical companies that want to sell you more of their products. And there are worldwide studies underway right now, as you're watching this video, on increased longevity, reduced cancer rates, better dental health. The list is so long, in my opinion, absolutely wonderful. But really, the proof will be right in front of you. Your dog will be healthier, with obvious signs you cannot deny. So what are the signs that your doggo will send you that they are healthier once you've made the switch? First up, their coats will be shinier, thicker, and they'll shed less. Darker colour coats will literally gleam in the sun. Number 2, their teeth will be cleaner, plaque-free and not require yearly dental work at the vet. And how much will this save you? Number 3, their breath won't smell. That means more kisses for you. Number 4, they won't have a funky dog smell. Most dogs simply don't smell unless they've been out rolling in something disgusting. Number 5, they will poop less, smaller, firmer poop that doesn't smell really bad. Number 6, a lot of skin allergies simply are fixed with the removal of the highly processed kibble starches. Number 7, it's easier to maintain a healthy weight on your dog. Number 8, your dog will drink less water. A raw diet contains about 75% moisture, whereas a dry food diet contains around 10% moisture, causing them to be in a constant state of dehydration, which in turn puts enormous strain on their kidneys. That also means for you, less potty breaks. Okay, I hear you saying you're in. Let's get down to the safest and easiest way to switch. Switching is something you need to do very slowly and you need to have a little bit of a plan. If your dog is older than say 6 or 7 months of age and has eaten kibble for their entire life, this is the video you need to watch. This video is for adult dogs only. Puppies need to switch a little differently, and I'll do a video on this topic separately. If you don't do it properly, you'll end up with punami, and no one wants that, least of all your doggo. There are a couple of ways to make the transition, but today I'm going to just focus on the way that I have found works well for most dogs. The most important thing to remember here is slow and steady. This process will take you anywhere between 2 weeks to a month, maybe 2 months. Each dog's microbiome is different and each dog will react differently. Age and overall health will make a big difference to the time it will take you. So be patient, slow and steady. Hey, if you've got this far, please like and subscribe our videos. It makes a huge difference and enables us to keep making this content for you. Before I go on, you should understand a little bit about how your dog actually digests their food. One of the main differences between kibble and raw food is the amount of starch or carbohydrates they contain. While most raw foods contain 0 to 15% carbohydrate, with none of it being starch, kibble needs starch to hold it together, those little pellet shapes. In fact, they need to be at least 30% starch for this to happen, and in many kibbles are even up to 60% starch. And if you're feeding a grain-free kibble, don't be fooled. These foods still need a starch and it will be just in a different form. So instead of rice and corn, they'll contain the same amount of peas or potatoes or beet pulp, for example. Kibble changes the dog's gut pH level. Kibble, or the starch it contains, will increase the pH of the stomach. That means it makes it less acidic and more alkaline. The same would happen if you fed your raw meals with potatoes or other starchy food like rice. An enzyme called pepsin is responsible for breaking the protein in your dog's meal into its individual building blocks, amino acids. When the pH of the gut is increased, meaning it's less acidic, the pathogen bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella are more likely to survive and cause digestive upset or illness in your dog. Remember, the acidic environment in his gut protects the dog against these pathogens. Dogs and other carnivores have evolved to handle their bacteria in raw meats, but if we change the pH in their digestive tract by feeding a food that's not appropriate for them, i.e. starch, some of that protection is lost. In fact, most of it is. So, in a nutshell, we have to change the acidity levels in their gut before we can feed raw without any of those tummy upsets, or, God forbid, punami. So, what's the first step? Changing the gut pH level to be more acidic, and it's as simple as adding between 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to every 10 kilos of body weight to their drinking water or to their bowl of kibble. Keep doing this for the first week or two. The next tip is to add to their kibble is a cooked casserole mix containing lots of vegetables like pumpkin, lots of leafy greens and soluble fibre. Simply cook this veggie mix up with some minced turkey or chicken. Use a white meat as it's easier to digest, and make the mix a 50-50 split. So it's half vegetables and half meat. Cooked casserole. So first step is take out 1/4 of their kibble and replace it with 1/4 of the cooked casserole. Get rid of that. It's about 1/4. Fabulous. After watching your dog carefully to make sure there isn't any upset, or after a couple of days, you can offer your dog a couple of raw pieces of boneless white meat. Something like chicken, turkey or rabbit is ideal, and only use a very small amount. Treat them as treats. So there we go, there's about 1/4 in there. Fabulous. Now, at this stage, it's really important to watch and check for any signs of that dreaded punami. Slightly softer poops are normal now, but the insoluble fibre in the veggie mix should hold it all together. As I mentioned, the object of this first stage is to alter their gut acidity levels from the alkaline level, caused by the starches in the kibble, and make the transition easier and make their gut microbiome and their gut lining more acidic. Now it's time to slowly add more raw meat and slowly remove the kibble from their bowl. I recommend using a quality pre-made raw meal mix, as it will ensure your dog is getting enough vitamins and minerals, and it's just easy at this stage. Now, these frozen raw meals are readily available from your local pet store. I've listed some below that I would recommend. Day 1 of this second week, their bowl should look like this: 3/4 kibble and 1/4 of the cooked casserole mix. Take out another 1/4 of the kibble and replace it with the pre-made raw mix. The bowl should look like this: half kibble, 1/4 raw, and 1/4 cooked casserole mix. There we go. Feed this ratio for the next couple of days and check their poops to make sure they're firm. In 2 or 3 days' time, remove another 1/4 of the kibble and replace it with the pre-made meal mix. Now, your bowl should look like this. We'll remove another 1/4 of the kibble. And replace it with half of the meat. So now we've got a lovely ratio there. 1/4 kibble, 1/4 cooked vegetables, 1/2 of the raw meat mix. Now, here's where the timeline changes depending on how your individual dog is doing. Are his poops firm? Is he not being sick? Is he bright and happy? If you've answered yes to all of these, then you're doing really well, or the dog's doing really well, and you can continue to change the ratio of kibble and increase the amount of raw meat in his bowl until there's no more kibble left. Take this transition over about a week or so. If your dog has diarrhea, has been vomiting, or is eating grass, or just generally looks unwell, slow it right down. The idea is the same. You just need to make more of the switch, take the switch more gradually. Of course, if your dog is very unwell, take him to the vet. Now, the cooked casserole mix can be removed altogether now if you wish, but my recommendation is to leave it. Just make sure it's 50-50 meat to vegetable mix ratio, and it makes up or takes up no more than 1/4 of their daily meals. I feed my dogs this mix pretty much every single day, as it adds so many vitamins and minerals and nutrients not found in many pre-made raw mixes, and my dogs actually love it. If you've reached the end of week 2 or week 3 and you've removed all their kibble completely, now it's time to add some raw meaty bones. Start with simple things like chicken necks or chicken feet or a chicken frame for larger dogs. Always supervise your dog when eating their bones, especially if they have not eaten them before. At the beginning, you might need to teach him how to actually chew them properly. After all, they are very different than those uniform little pellets he was used to eating. To do this, simply hold the neck or the foot in some paper towel. This helps the slip factor. Let him have a little chew, a little gnaw. Take it off him, give him lots of praise. Good boy, good chewing. And give him another little chew. Keep repeating this till he gets the idea not to swallow it whole. That's as easy as it can be. Don't stress. It does not matter how many weeks it takes to completely remove the kibble from their diets. Remember, slow and steady will win this race. If you're finally there after, say, even 4 or 8 weeks, you will need to introduce these raw meaty bones as well. Their gut microbiome and their acidity levels will be able to handle them without any upset. Now you may notice something that might alarm you. Don't panic. They will be drinking far less water than normal. Don't worry, a raw meat-based diet comprises around 75% moisture in comparison to a dry kibble, which contains less than 10% moisture. So, of course, they will drink far more after a bowl of kibble. The other major change you will notice is their poops will be far smaller and smell far less than before. This is because their body is processing and using almost all of the nutrients the raw meat will provide. Just one of the many benefits of a raw diet, in my opinion. In fact, I think it's one of the better ones. Well, there you have it, the easiest way to transition your dog's diet and avoiding that dreaded poonami. If you'd like to learn more about making your own dog's meals or adding different types of foods to their daily meals, check out our other videos on these topics.